morning, everyone. My name is Julien Obendoerfer. I'm the new chair for the Government Affairs Committee. I work with HSE. I'm on the board for 3 years now, I think, something like that. As we had a change of institutions in Europe last year with the election of the government, of the Parliament, and the new Commission, we also had change of institutions at ERA with the Government Affairs Committee. So actually Marcel and I decided to kind of share this presentation because honestly enough, our executive director had the charge or the duty, or he took care of the Government Affairs Committee for the last 18 months almost.
It was a transition, I would say, because
transition phase.
I think it was a transition of leadership as Julien signaled before, because we had lost the chairmanship of the previous committee with a departure from the board, and Julien and Mike Wells accepted to co-chair the new committee, but that was decided reasonably late last year, so the agenda had been pretty much advanced. But I expect the two of them, plus a new member of committee and existing member of committee, to take again the lead. I will try to execute as much as I can the orientation and the decision that the committee will make starting today with a meeting in an hour. It has not been too complicated and too impacting that transition, and our own leadership of the specific of the Govt Affairs Committee was not too damaging, if I may say, in terms of our presence in Brussels, because frankly the agenda of the Brussels institution in 2009 has been very, very flat. The transition in the European institution take absolutely ages before the new Parliament and the new Commission can really start working. And in fact, to give you details, I was trying to have a meeting last week with one of the key directors of consumer affairs that we know and deal with normally, and he's telling me I'm still unpacking my boxes in my office, my new office. He has been named 2 months ago. He met his new boss only 2 weeks ago. And when you know that the Commission has been named in February, that gives you the extension of time they need to start working in Brussels. We have to deal with it. So basically what took place in Brussels over the last 12 months was mostly under the stress of the water. Still, we have been participating extensively in many consultations that during the transition the Directorate of the Commission organized on the themes and issues that are really directly involving our industry. I want to mention the consumer protection laws. The big work started end of 2008 to review completely the distance selling directive, the contract law for consumer affairs that directs all the European commercial contract with consumers. So that work has been started a year ago, and ERA Europe is part of the group of associations that are regularly consulted. I participated personally to 3 workshops organized by the Directorate around these themes. We also worked a lot with Mrs. Kuneva, the previous Commissioner on Consumer Affairs, before she stepped down with the new Commission. But she was pretty active. You remember she came to Monte Carlo 2 years ago, and that was also a good kickoff for our relation with her. That said, no decision, no final version of the contract has been produced yet. Our position there is basically to facilitate the cross-border business, because the content of the directive, as we see them and confirmed by our members in the industry, we don't have much concern about the content of the regulations. We are even sometimes in a more advanced application and interpretation that the directive is giving to the member state today. What has been our fight and our gospel to the Commission over the last 12 months has been to facilitate the cross-border business of our industry and of the distance selling, because as I showed yesterday, international development is really one of the major possibilities for this industry expand into in companies like Studio Moderna or even other companies from Spain, etc., can reasonably consider moving to an international level if the regulation governing the consumer relation are more harmonized, fully harmonized if possible, so that when you deal from Spain to Portugal, or from Italy to Greece, or from Greece to other countries, or from France to Belgium, etc., you will not have to review completely your consumer relation, your contract, etc. And I have unfortunately some not too comfortable vibration from the new Commission, because what had been one of the leading comment of Mrs. Kuneva before, that she wanted maximum harmonization. Now the new Commissioner, Mrs. Reding, that we know very well, as no later than 2 weeks ago made a presentation at the Parliament saying that finally maximum harmonization is not completely on top of her agenda. So again, we will have to fight on that front. It seems a marginal front, but it is an important one if you look at the big picture of the future of our industry. And the other issue and item on our legislative agenda, the past was okay. We managed to have the audiovisual media service, the new version of the Television Without Frontier, really deliver in terms of content and definition what we expected. But now, as you know, it's implemented country by country. There are good implementations, such as Spain. There are questionable implementation, or implementation that still raise a few issues of definitions, such as in the UK, but Mike is going to give us maybe more details on that. So we need to go back to the drawing board in Brussels, and that's the agenda we'll have in the upcoming weeks, to make sure that the directive interpretation is well directed by Brussels again when the member state implement it in the various countries. So we have a pretty interesting agenda for the upcoming months after a reasonably flat year. So I count on, I know Julien is ready to form a new committee. We have welcomed the return to membership of Klaus. The only thing that we miss is this QVC label, but we can live with it, without it. But we hope that with Manos, with Klaus, with Mike, and hopefully a few others, we will be able to give this the same momentum we gave a couple of years ago to this activity in Brussels. The good thing is that we don't pretend to be a big organization, but at least they call us when they want to deal about teleshopping. I regularly receive emails or calls from institutions now from Brussels when they want to talk about teleshopping, which is, I think, a very good first achievement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe